Hey, good morning, everyone, man. Good morning, man. My apologies. They're coming on a little more than an hour late today. I was stuck at the hospital there, the sports medicine doctor with my son. I just had to take him for some checkups there. But yes, this is Gregory Wilds coming live to you from Houston, Texas, with his inspirational morning talk, man. For first-time listeners, I just get some I just come on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8:45 Texas time. But as you see today, it's a little later. Yes, but I can still get to do what I need to do, man. Today, what I want to talk about is let your conscience be your guide. Let your conscience be your guide. You know, we heard this saying before, let our conscience be our guide. So that's what I want to talk about today, right? So we're going to talk about this from Romans 2:12, Romans 2:12, 16, Romans 2:12, from verse 12 to 16, we're going to talk about, right? So we heard the term, let your conscience be a guide. This is what Paul was telling the Romans, right? They were trying to tell them about what they're doing and you need to, follow the laws and stuff. So we pick it up from verse 12, right? So he's saying, when the Gentiles sin, they will be destroyed, even though they never had God's written law. So he's saying the Gentiles, back in the days, the Jews who had the Moses law, the Mosaic law, the Jews had it. But he was comparing the Jews to the Gentiles and trying to tell the Jews, even when the Gentiles sin, they will be destroyed, even though they never had God's written law, right? So that's what I've tried to tell people. All of these laws, whether you believe in them or not, Mr. Alan Dwayne, good morning. Even if you don't believe in them or not, they are going to run its course. These laws are going to run its course in your life, whether you believe in them or not. And that's what Paul is trying to tell the Romans. When the Gentiles sin, they will be destroyed, even though they never had God's written law. And the Jews who do have God's law will be judged by that law when they fail to obey it, right? They can be judged by the law when they fail to obey it. But the Gentiles who don't have the law, they're going to still, the law going to run its course in their life. That's what I try to tell people. You don't have to believe in these laws, but they can run its course in your life. And if you need more consistency in your life, take time to study these laws so you can participate in them and get the benefit of them, right? So verse 13 said, for merely listening to the law doesn't make us right with God. For merely listening to the law doesn't make us right with God, man. And a lot of us, I was part of that too. People think they're just going to church, they're getting the word, and the good, they ain't got to go to and practice none. Because I'm clocking my time in church Sunday, I'm good with God. I did my time, right? But you don't got to go out and practice none of these things. You just did your time in church, and I'm good, right? So it's for merely listening to the law doesn't make it right. You hear the preacher give a good sermon, and it pump you up for the day, and you're not going out and do nothing. You're taking the lessons from the sermon, right? So he's saying, for merely listening to the law doesn't make it right with God. It is obeying the law that makes us right in his sight. It's obeying it. That's what makes us right in his sight, right? Obeying the law makes you right in his sight. Even Gentiles who do not have God's written law show that they know his law when they instinctively obey it, even without hearing it, right? So that's what we come into. They say even them who don't have the law, instinctively, they obey it without even hearing it. Because hear what he's saying. They demonstrate, they meaning the Gentiles, they demonstrate that God's law is written in their hearts for their own conscience and thoughts, either accuse them or tell them they are doing right. So this is what we come into when we say, let your conscience be a guide. He's saying even the Gentiles, right, who didn't have this law, didn't have the teaching like what the Jews had with Moses, giving them all of this. He said even to them, this stuff is written in their heart, right? He said they demonstrate God's laws is written in their hearts for their own conscience and thoughts, either accuse them or tell them they are doing right, right? And here, this kicker here in 16. And this is the message I proclaim, that the day is coming when God, through Jesus Christ, will judge everyone's secret life. He's saying the day is coming when God, through Jesus Christ, will judge everyone's secret life. And that's what I try to tell people. Not because pastor not seeing what you're doing, or mommy, daddy, husband, wife not seeing what you're doing. He said the day can come and God can judge your secret life. So it's bigger than the pastor seeing you. It's bigger than mommy, daddy seeing you. It's bigger than your husband, your wife see what you're doing in secret. He said, God, the day can come when you can judge your secret life, right? But what I want to spend some time on here is verse 15. So they demonstrate that God's law is written in their hearts for their own conscience and thoughts, either accuse them or tell them they are doing something right or something wrong. So what I want to say, man, that's where this whole thing come up from. Let your conscience be your guide. So if you go in and do something and it doesn't feel right, or you do the thing and you feel dirty after you do it, you know it wasn't the right thing to do. That's what it's saying. God right there in every one of us heart. Even if you didn't know a law or know the right thing to do, but if you go in and do this thing, you're not feeling good about it, it's usually a conscience telling you that's not the right thing to do. It's not the right thing. Or you still force ahead and you do it, but you don't feel good after. You don't feel good after you did it. Your conscience saying, you made a mistake right there. Don't do that again. Don't do that again. Even if you don't know what was the right thing to do in that situation, your conscience is going to guide you, right? Your conscience and your own thoughts. You ever do something to someone, they don't know, but you feeling guilty about this stuff. They don't have a clue what you did to them. You did it in secret. You did something to mess them up. You tell someone something you do to affect someone's life, but they don't have a clue. But you don't feeling good about this thing all the time. Nobody knows, only you, but your own thoughts and your own conscience got you feeling guilty. And you may come out and confess or whatever it is. You might come out and confess because your own thoughts and your own consciousness will bothering you and keep you from sleeping at night. And it even drives some people to take their own life because this is so big to them and they don't want to confess it. They feel, you know what, I can't take this. The thoughts and conscience is bothering them. So this is just a little guide. If you're going to do something, if you don't know the right thing to do in a situation, but you're feeling not good about doing what you're doing, usually don't do it. Don't do it. It's your own thoughts and your own conscience trying to be your guide. Right, guys? So that's what I want to point out in this stuff today. It's a lot to unpack in this little scriptures here, right? Sharon Wong, Joseph, good morning. Good morning. How are you doing? There's a lot to unpack here, right? You're saying not only hearing the word. So just mainly going to church and hearing a good word and come out feeling pumped up, feeling excited. He said that doesn't make you right with God. Is obeying the law makes us right in his sight. Obeying the laws, right? And he said even the Gentiles who do not have God's written law, the people who not going to church, the average man out there, whether you're an atheist, whether you're what, God still put in your heart and you give you a conscience that can be your guide and you can still be able to do a lot of stuff that is right? In verse 15, this is Romans 2:12 through 16, right? They mean the Gentiles, they demonstrate that God's law is written in their hearts for their own conscience and thoughts, either accuse them or tell them they are doing something right? So your own conscience, let your conscience be your guide. Like I said, if you do something, and after you do it, you don't feel right, you not feel good about yourself, you feel dirty, you feel that own self, your own conscience and your thoughts is what's condemning you, what's accusing you, and it's something you should think about doing again, something you should not do. Or if you're going to do something right now you got the thoughts, you ain't sure if this is the right thing to do, but you get this uneasy feeling, it's not feeling good and sitting right with you, do not do it. And if something is feeling so right and so natural, after you do it, you feel good, most times you got to examine it. It's probably good to say, well, your own thoughts and your conscience can tell you whether if you're doing good or bad, whether you're doing something good, right? So that's where the saying come from. Let your conscience be your guide, guys. really let your conscience be your guide, right? That's going to guide you and tell you whether it's right or wrong. It's something God put in all of us hearts. Whether you heard the law before or you didn't hear the law, He already write down your hearts. And He give you a moral compass to guide you along the way. So we just need to pay attention to the compass, listen to it, pay attention to it, and we could save ourselves from a lot of trouble. Right, guys? We can save ourselves from a lot of trouble. Probably got to take this again because there's a lot more areas in this little passage here. This whole Romans 2 got a lot of things we could discuss and learn about. But from today, we can just take. All right, guys, we're going to leave that there. Have a great, great day. And we'll talk again on Friday. Okay, then. Goodbye.